Hi, hello. I just wanted to pop in here to do some shameless self-promotion. I have created a second channel. My name's not Eli. It's brilliant. Brilliant name. I know. You'll see content like Let's Plays, movie reviews, tier lists, just all different kind of stuff over there. I'm also going to be doing videos here and there with a certain somebody. One more thing to add, I have created a Patreon for those who want to further support me. I'm very grateful for you being here, but if you want to further support me on Patreon, I would be even more grateful. You don't have to, it is an option for you if you want. It starts at $1 a month. It's not crazy expensive, and you get some amazing bonuses. You get behind the scenes, extra content, a few more things. So if you want to check it out, link in the description for both of those things, my second channel and the Patreon. So yeah, that's about it. My name's Eli. Today we are looking at Silent Hill 2. Not that one. And no, not that one either. Yeah, that one. That's the one. That's it. 2001 was a crazy year for gaming.
The Horror of Castlevania. The moves of Tony Hawk 2, now on Game Boy Advance. Rated everyone to teen.
Halo Combat Evolved.
Halo Combat Evolved. Rated M for mature.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid 2, only on PlayStation 2. Rated M for mature. From Konami.
Fatal Frame.
待望のベスト版ゼロ発売中
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Rated M for mature.
Only from Capcom.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And you guessed it.
Silent Hill 2. Rated M for mature. For PlayStation 2. From Konami.
After the booming success of Silent Hill in 1999, Konami insisted on Team Silent to begin work on a sequel. On release, the game saw backlash for not really laying promise to that 2 in its title.
2 really has almost nothing to do with the original Silent Hill. There's a completely new cast of characters. You have to forget everything you knew about Silent Hill. Other than that, it's one hell of a foggy town, and there are creatures out in the mist.
But other than that, gamers and critics alike both reveled in how the game improved as a sequel, in a technical and story way. But Silent Hill 2 would sadly soon be left behind in a barrage of Silent Hill games. Until the year of 2012, when Silent Hill HD Collection would release, containing ports of Silent Hill 2 and 3 for the PS3 and Xbox 360. This collection has been beaten to the ground enough, so I'll just put it simply, it was hot garbage. Okay, horrible. Okay, I don't know what's, oh my god!
Change the fucking font to Comic Sans in the HD version. Yeah, cause
It was instantly spat into the $5 bin. Silent Hill 2 was, once again, forgotten, not by the fans, but by Konami.
The truth is, I hated you.
But, luckily, after a long dry spell, Bluebird Team would release an amazing remake of the game in 2024. Which brings us to today. I've been wanting to play Silent Hill 2 for a good while, and thanks to Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition, which is amazing by the way, you should check it out, I'm able to enjoy what would most call the best horror game ever.
I'm looking for Silent Hill.
It's only the one road. You can't miss it. But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away.
I know the truth. Now it's time to end this. Mary, could you really be in this town?
James Sunderland, this jolly fellow right here, is looking for his wife, Mary. She sent a note detailing him on a few things.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
I'm pretty sure everyone has heard this note. It's very iconic. How the actress delivers the words Silent Hill is perfect. But James doesn't seem too happy to have gotten this note.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter.
So apparently Mary died from a disease 3 years ago. Then how'd she write a note? That is exactly why James has come to Silent Hill. In the letter, Mary told James that she'd be waiting in their special place. James states that the whole town could be the special place, but comes to a conclusion that it might be the park by the lake. So, with nothing but a guess as to where the special place is, James grabs his map of Silent Hill from his car and sets out. He's right behind me. After a good amount of full-on sprinting, James approaches a red square. Yeah, just from what James thinks there, we can conclude that the player is mind-controlling James and using him for entertainment. Who wrote the script? That sounded wrong. After we save the game, which is something I'll dive into later, James enters a graveyard and meets a new friend.
Excuse me,
James apologizes for the scare and asks her for direction.
I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
James attempts to leave, but she stops him and states that there's something wrong with the town. And it's not only the fog.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just, I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for someone.
Who is it?
Someone very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her.
She goes to tell James that she hoped to find her father and brother in order to get her to her mother, but hasn't been able to. She then apologizes and says that it's not really James's problem, but James backs her up, tells her it's okay, and that he hopes she finds them. She tells James the same and they split ways. James continues and finds that one road she spoke of. James eventually makes it to the actual town and turns. Like Scoob, what does that do? James follows these blood trails through an alley and into an underpass, where he finds a radio. James beats this disgusting creature into nothing but a bloody pulp.
Is it dead? What the heck?
After that sweet victory, James pulls out the newly acquired radio and listens in.
What the? I'd better take it anyway. I might need it.
Is it just me, or did it seem like James didn't really hear the woman speaking through the static? I mean, it'd be different if the static was majorly overpowering the person's voice, but James continues through the town, slapping around figures that for some reason are lying. He eventually makes it to a random trailer and finds a note inside, reading, "I'll wait at Bar Neely's." He marks it on his map and heads directly to it. Inside of the bar, he finds a dirty map with random markings on it. James takes some of the marks into consideration on his own map. After inspection of the map, James heads to the question mark here. That's right, we're going to an apartment building. James enters the Woodside Apartments, grabs the map to the place, and finds himself reaching through a set of bars to reach a key.
Ow! Hey, wait!
With the goal of getting that key, James snoops around and finds a mannequin dressed as his wife, along with a flashlight to aid him. As soon as he picks it up, a new horror reveals itself. As you saw, James was not having it and immediately left the room. After acquiring the flashlight, James finds a handgun. He then makes it up to the second floor and a dude starts yelling. James investigates where the noise came from and sees the mascot of this franchise, Red Pyramid Thing. After the longest staring contest of James's life, he enters the door on his right and finds the person responsible for the noise. A few steps away is the key to room 202. Just in the other room from this wonderful sight is a clock, in which he can't open due to it being locked. James exits the room and makes it into room 202, where he finds a hole in the bathroom. You know what happens to holes in Silent Hill? They get reached into. Who wrote this? Who wrote? Wow, look at that, the clock key, how convenient. Of course, James heads back to the clock and opens it up. With the clock now open, James uses 3 random names scribbled onto the wall behind him to correctly manipulate the clock's hands to the time 9:10. James walks through the once covered crack in the wall and finds himself on a set of stairs. He makes it to the 3rd floor and enters the closest unlocked room. What is that? James bafflingly exits the closet and grabs the courtyard key. He then finds himself back at the entrance, where he cuts right and enters another entrance on the right of the apartment building. At the very end of the entrance, he finds a pack of canned juice. After acquiring the canned juice, James heads up these stairs onto the 3rd floor and grabs that key we were unable to get a while ago. Ah, the fire escape. Now James is in a whole other building, Blue Creek Apartments. On James's entrance, he notices a very disgusting bathroom. I wonder what the first thing James will do when he notices how vile the toilet is. Well, James pulled out a wallet, which just so happens to have a code in it. I wonder why. Just in the other room is a safe. He heads out of this room and into a hall, where he finds another set of stairs, which he takes to the first floor. On the first floor, James finds a furniture with 5 coin indentations, even though to unlock it, it only requires 3. So, James heads back into the Woodside Apartments building, to the entrance and downstairs to use the courtyard key to get into the courtyard. Here in the courtyard, James finds one of the coins in a baby carriage in an empty pool, then leaves the courtyard and goes into an undiscovered part of the building. He enters a random room, finds a refrigerator sitting on somebody, and this guy.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Do what?
I didn't do anything. I swear.
My name's James. James Sunderland.
Eddie.
Eddie. Who's that dead guy in the kitchen?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
You're not friends with that red pyramid thing, are you?
Red pyramid thing? I don't know what you're talking about.
So apparently Eddie is able to see the lying figures and mannequins but not Pyramid Head? I know this is obvious, but Pyramid Head is clearly a manifestation of James in some shape or form. Most say he's a manifestation of guilt, and I agree. Anyways, past that tangent there, Eddie goes on to tell James that the monsters are the reasons that he's in the room. James replies asking him what happened here, referring to the refrigerator accident, and Eddie just tells him he doesn't know. For some reason, I don't believe him.
I'm not even from this town. I just...
You too, huh? Something just brought you here, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, whatever it is, I think you better get out of here soon.
Yeah, you're right. What about you?
I'll leave as soon as I'm done here. Eddie, be careful.
James, you be careful too.
After that interesting encounter with Eddie, James heads back into the Blue Creek Apartments and finds a note on room 209 detailing a person named Tim on where their apartment key is. Apparently it's in Uncle David's room. Turns out that that room is the one with the coin thingy in it, so the key is in there. After inspecting that note, James goes down to the first floor, turns left, and enters the first door on the left where that girl from the cemetery is lying down with a knife.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I'm James.
Angela.
Angela, okay.
James tells Angela that there is always another way. She questions him and tells James that he's the same as her, stating that it's easier to just run.
Besides, is what we deserve.
No, I'm not like you.
She asks James if he's afraid, then instantly apologizes for asking him. James tells her it's okay and asks if she found her mother. Angela tells him that she's not anywhere, implying she hasn't found her.
Did she live in this apartment building?
I don't know.
So, all you know is she lived in this town.
What did you say? How do you know that?
Well, I just figured, 'cause this is where you're looking for her. How else would I know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
I'm so tired.
So, why did you come to this town anyway?
I'm sorry.
She then asks James if he's found the person he's looking for. James says not yet and shows Angela a picture of Mary, his wife.
Her name's Mary. She's my wife.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Anyway, she's dead. I don't know why I think she's here.
She's dead?
Don't worry. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think so.
Angela gets up, saying she's gotta find her mama. James asks her if he should come along with her, considering how dangerous the town is. She hurriedly responds, telling James she'll be okay and that she'd probably just slow him down.
I'd just slow you down.
What about that?
Will you hold it for me?
Sure. No problem.
If I kept it, I'm not sure what I might do. No! Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad. Please don't.
Poor Angela. James finds a second coin on the same table the knife was on, then goes back into the Woodside Apartments and forces this trash down the chute using the pack of juice. After it's fallen through, James heads outside to check the disposal and finds the last coin, along with a magazine detailing about a man named Walter Sullivan, who was arrested for a brutal murder, who took his own life in his jail cell. An old classmate of Walter states that he didn't seem the type to murder a child, but was yelling crazy stuff like, "He's trying to kill me, punish me, the monster, the red devil." His classmate would later add that he guesses Walter was kinda crazy. I know this is crazy to say, but in a town like this, I'd probably believe anything Walter had said. James climbs once again into Blue Creek Apartments, gets to the coin indentation, sticks them in accordingly, and gets the key to room 209. Wow, so welcoming. Oh, and look at this view. Look, they've even got the apartment stairway key here. What a luxury. James opens up the apartment stairway and goes inside. Oh, come on. James feeds lead into Pyramid Head until some sirens go off, luring Pyramid Head away. Of course, after the water depletes, James goes right down where Pyramid Head did and into an alley.
You! It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who stepped on my hand.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
What's that letter?
None of your business. You didn't love Mary anyway.
Wait!
Why is that child so rude? Anyways, James continues forward until he reaches, oh, it's the park, it's the special place. James goes into the park, but is stopped by someone familiar peering at the lake.
No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend?
No, my late wife. I can't believe it. You could be her twin. Your face, your voice, just your hair and clothes are different.
My name is Maria. I don't look like a ghost, do I?
Maria convinces James she's real, not an apparition. James apologizes for the confusion and begins to leave, but Maria asks where is he going. He replies, telling her that he's looking for Mary.
Have you seen her?
Didn't you say she died?
James, in fact, did not say this to Maria. James, I don't know if you should trust her. I don't know, man.
But I got a letter from her. She says she was waiting in our special place.
And that's here? Anyway, I haven't seen her.
Maria asks James if this is the only special place he knows of, and James comes to the realization that it isn't. and that the actual special place is the Lakeview Hotel. James begins walking away, and Maria gets angered at how James is just leaving her. James stutters to come up with an excuse.
I look like Mary, don't I? You loved her, right? Or maybe you hated her.
Don't be ridiculous.
So it's okay?
Yeah, fine.
So the two set out on an epic adventure to the hotel, but get stopped by a map in the middle of the road, one similar to the one from Bar Neely's. But this time there's a big circle on Pete's Bolorama, so James puts aside the hotel trip and decides to go bowling.
I'll wait here. I hate bowling.
I didn't come here to play, you know.
Hurry back, okay?
James heads in.
So what'd you do? Robbery? Murder?
Nah, nothing like that.
Ha! You're just a gutless fatso.
What'd you have to say that for?
I thought you said the cops were after you.
No, I just ran because I was scared. I don't know what the cops are doing.
But if you did something bad, why don't you just say you're sorry? Well, I guess I run away a lot too.
It's no good. They wouldn't listen.
So Eddie seems to have ran away from something he did out of fear? I don't think Eddie is telling the full truth here, I don't know. James continues into the bowling alley and reminds Eddie as to who he is. James asks Eddie if he's alone here. Eddie says no, and the little girl is spotted running out of the place.
Bye-bye.
Wait! Come back! Hey! Let's go after her!
Huh? Laura? But why?
Laura. Is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She said she was fine by herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
James does just that and heads outside. Mary runs over to James out of breath. He asks her if she's seen Laura run out of the place, and she says yes, but wasn't capable of catching her. So James and Maria go in the direction she ran. They make it to a very tight alley, where an even tighter space is found. James asks Maria if there's any other way.
There is. Right through there.
It's no good. It's locked.
The two go in and it's a strip club. The two leave and Maria spots Laura cutting a corner into a hospital. James and Maria follow inside, and why didn't I grab the map? It's right there, what's wrong with me? Okay, so I don't think you want me to re-say what I just said when James was at the apartment, so with the whole back and forth stuff, yeah, just let me sum it up for you real fast. James and Maria run around the hospital attempting to find Laura. After a good bit of that running around, Maria tells James to give her a break.
I'm kinda tired. It's just a hangover.
You should rest.
So comfy.
I'm gonna go look for her. For Laura. I'll be back as soon as I can.
James grabs the roof key here, but before heading up finds this abhorrent chest. He makes it to the roof. Pyramid Head did not want him up there, so now James works on that chest. That is a piece of hair. James takes it and turns out that it's actually useful. He uses it to reach something in this lengthy drain in the shower room. He hops in the elevator and goes down to the first floor where he finds Laura. She's doing the usual, you know, playing with stuffed animals and calling Eddie names.
That big fat blabbermouth.
James asks her about Mary.
What's the big deal?
Why can't you just tell me?
You gonna yell at me if I don't?
No, I won't.
Laura tells James that she was actually good friends with Mary, and that they met last year in this very hospital. Wait a second, did she say last year?
You liar! Laura,
Fine, don't believe me.
But last year, Mary was already
Dead. That's right. Anyways, James insists on her to come with him, but during their leave, Laura remembers that Mary left a letter.
You're okay?
But it's really important.
What is it?
A letter from Mary.
Huh?
I want to go get it. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
James follows her and she orders him to get it from this room. He inches and inches into the room until Laura slams the door shut.
Laura! What are you doing?
Ha ha. I tricked you.
Open the door, Laura.
Why should I? I'm a liar, right? Want me to open it? Huh? Huh? Do ya? What's the magic word?
Laura?
Okay, I guess I won't open it. I think I'll just leave you like this.
You snotty little brat!
James fights off these disgusting creatures. My theory is that James just got transported to the other world. It's like the fog-like state of Silent Hill, but all rusty, extremely dark, and littered with even more horrendous imagery and monsters. James, confused and alone, goes back to the room Maria was in, but is only met with empty medicine bottles, causing James to question if Maria is sick. James goes to the second floor and finds the key to the basement storeroom, along with a battery. Interesting. Upon further exploration of the second floor, James finds an unable-to-be-opened fridge, implying that he needs someone to help him open it. So, with no help to open a fridge, James goes downstairs and into the basement.
James!
Mary? Oh, Maria. It's you. I thought you were... Sorry. Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway! What do you mean, anyway?
Honestly, James had that coming.
All you care about is that dead wife of yours.
I'm sorry, James.
No, I
Then
just...
stay with me. Don't ever leave me alone. You're supposed to take care of me. So, what about Laura? Did you find her?
Yeah, but... she ran away.
We've got to find her.
So the two do just this. But before they set out, Maria tells James that for some reason she just feels like she needs to protect Laura. I mean, yeah, I'd hope so. Anyone with any compassion would want to help a child in a place like this. James climbs down this little hole and grabs a copper ring. The two go in the elevator in hopes of getting to the refrigerator, but this interrupts their travel.
Hi there, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another exciting edition of Trick or Treat.
So this is an entirely optional part. It deals with a quick 3-question quiz on Silent Hill. I sadly am not cultured. The two get to the fridge and pop it open.
What's this? Not very cute, is it? Here, James. You take it.
Thanks.
And that's the lead ring. Now the two make it to this door, where James plops the 2 rings, copper and lead, onto the 2 hands of this lady. They go through the door, and it's another staircase. Right below them is a letter, which reads, I took the director's key, the one to the museum. I hid it behind the praying woman when I went out for the day trip. I picked it up, but I did not steal it. I'm not a criminal. After that wonderful read, the two head down this giant staircase. Y'all see this? The door at the bottom of the stairs leads the two into a worm-like designed hallway, and that's Pyramid Head. Yeah, so she's not with us anymore. James seems so devastated by her death, he hits the Spider-Man 3 pose. After some grieving, James is back on the streets, good as new. While James is scoping out the area, he finds a note and a wrench. The note hints at a key at the foot of a praying woman located in the park. So he heads over to the park and digs a hole, uses the wrench on these bolts, and acquires an old bronze key. With the Silent Hill Historical Society building being the only major place James hasn't been, he runs over and enters using the bronze key. Upon entering, James is met with this painting. Those things behind Pyramid Head to me look like more humanoid versions of these things James fought in the hospital. And then of course you got Pyramid Head there. Honestly, this is a nice painting, I like it. James continues and finds an even longer staircase than the one that was at the hospital. So, since this is Silent Hill, James decides to go down this staircase. James finally makes it to the end and is greeted with a document detailing on our prisoner, along with some more stuff James for some reason can't read. Taking these bars and that document into consideration, James is now in a prison. He continues and finds this room full of framed settings and events. One I think is really important to point out is this one here, named Crimson and White Banquet for the Gods. I say this because the hooded figure here, whose headpiece looks a bit like a cloth version of Pyramid Head's pyramid. I don't know why, but I found this very intriguing. The other frames include the one of the prison we're in now, which details on the name Toluca Prison Camp, and how it would evolve into just Toluca Prison. The next one is called Death by Skewering, which just sounds painful. This picture details James on how they went about execution at the prison, letting the prisoner choose between being strangled or being skewered. I don't know about you guys, but according to this picture, I'd definitely go with strangle. After that history lesson, James finds a hole, like a legit hole, like you can't see the bottom of it or anything. Look what you did, James. Now James is stuck down here. But through the power of touch, James feels around and finds an out-of-place brick. He's free at last. He continues through this sewer-like area and finds himself trapped again, but this time in a padded cell. After picking up this key, the door jams and his light stops working. He remembers the battery he got from the hospital, plugged it into his flashlight, and the room covered in bug. James studies the padlock and notices that 1, 3, and 6 are highlighted. He guesses and guesses using the 3 numbers, and finally gets out. Right after getting out, James finds another hole. He uses the key from the padded cell and jumps right in.
Killing a person ain't no big deal. Just put the gun to their head.
Ah, I knew Eddie was crazy. Eddie claims he didn't do anything, stating the man came after him, making fun of him.
Just for that, you killed him?
What do you mean, just for that?
Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they looked at you.
Eddie claims he's always let people walk over him, including that stupid dog. Eddie, what is wrong with you?
I was just joking, James. He was dead when I got here, honest. Anyway, I gotta run.
You're going out there alone?
Yeah.
Eddie!
Why did he say yeah like that? He sounded excited. Sick freak. Anyways, James looks around this room and finds a tablet of gluttonous pig. He continues throughout the prison and finds a giant room with a structure in the middle, which has 3 indentations in it. Perfect fit for the tablet he just found. With knowledge of the 2 other tablets, James sniffs them out, while also finding a lighter and a wax doll. After inserting the 2 tablets into the structure, James is granted a wonderful sound. James goes to leave the room, but grabs the random horseshoe on one of the door's handles. With the horseshoe, some wax, and a lighter, James is able to open this random hatch he found. Try to guess what he's about to do. James lands, and that's another hole. James lands again, and that's another one. That's another. James lands and enters an elevator. He goes down and is met with a mini maze. Through careful direction, he's able to make it to this head-turning thingy. After turning the square head, James is able to continue further.
You're alive! Maria! I thought that thing killed you!
Yep, Maria is alive. Somehow, James is just as confused as I am and asks Maria about the whole backstab thing that happened. But Maria brushes it off with ignorance, acting as if she has no idea what James is talking about.
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So, you're Maria?
I am. If you want me to be.
James snaps at Maria, demanding for answers. Maria tells him that it doesn't matter who she is, it's just the fact that she's real. She then asks James if he wants to touch her, and James says he doesn't know. So, with the goal of wanting to touch Maria, James runs through another maze, this time a bigger, fleshier one. On James's exit, he meets Angela again, but this time she's being harassed by this monster she calls Daddy. I'm sure everyone knows what's being implied here, so yeah. I truly do think that Angela has the saddest backstory in this game. I just feel so bad. And to the people that are quote-unquote fixing her in the remake, there's a special place in hell for all. James pulled out his shotgun and blasted this disgusting, vile creature.
Are you okay? Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same.
See what I mean? She's been so abused she can't even bear a man being nice to her without thinking he has an ulterior motive.
You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never...
Yeah, James is right. He's a nice guy. James, you're a nice guy, right? James leaves this room, goes down the hall, and enters another room. This time it's full of hanging corpses. James finds a room full of nooses and a rhyme/story. It speaks of 6 different criminals, one of which was falsely accused, leaving James to be the one to pick who he thinks was the false accused. It ends up being the arsonist. After pulling the arsonist's rope, James finds a key. He uses this key on a pair of handcuffs, allowing him to continue forward into the room Maria was in.
Maria? Maria? Maria, no! What happened to you? Why? Why?
This is not Mary, James. Yep, so she is actually dead now. I guess James was somehow hallucinating her a while ago, or maybe that was just the town messing with him again, who knows. James exits the room and finds a legit graveyard, full of a few people we met in the town. Even James himself has his own hole. Oh, James, not again. Yet again, another hole James has jumped into. James goes down some stairs, a long hall, and into this bloodied up door.
Eddie? What are you doing? What does it look like? He always busted my balls. You fat, disgusting piece of shit. You make me sick. Fat ass, you're nothing but a waste of skin. You're so ugly, even your mama don't love you. Well, maybe he was right. Maybe I am nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead. And the corpse can't laugh. From now on, if anyone makes fun of me, I'll kill him. Just like that.
Eddie, have you gone nuts?
Eddie tells James he understands, implying that he does not trust James anymore. Of course, Eddie being Eddie, tries shooting James. Ah, Eddie, you're such a jokester.
Eddie? Eddie? I killed a human being. A human being. Mary. Did you really die 3 years ago?
Eddie has been eliminated. With that confirmed kill, James heads out of the freezer and outside onto a dock. He finds a small boat, paddles it all the way across the lake to the Lakeview Hotel. James enters the hotel and finds a map with the words "Waiting for you" written over room 312 on the 3rd floor. James puts the map away, and in the middle of this lobby he finds a music box. Once again, which has indentations in it. In this same room, James finds a note on the receptionist's desk, detailing him on where the tape Maria was talking about is. James then enters the receptionist's room and finds the key to room 312, which is the room him and Mary stayed in. James then heads up to the 2nd floor and finds the cloak room, which contains a locked briefcase, then heads to the restaurant on the 1st floor.
Did I scare you?
Yeah, you did.
You're here to find Mary, aren't you, James? Well, have you?
No. Is that why you're here too?
She's here, isn't she? If you know where she is, tell me. I'm tired of walking.
Oh, I bet James is as well. Laura brings up a letter and James asks for it. She hands him the note and tells him that she stole it from Rachel's locker, a nurse that tended to both Mary and Laura. James begins reading the note.
My dearest Laura, I'm leaving this letter with Rachel to give to you after I'm gone. I'm far away now in a quiet, beautiful place. Please forgive me for not saying goodbye before I left. Be well, Laura. Don't be too hard on the sisters. And Laura, about James, I know you hate him because you think he isn't nice to me, but please give him a chance. It's true he may be surly sometimes, and he doesn't laugh much, but underneath he's a really sweet person. Laura, I love you like my very own daughter. If things had worked out differently, I was hoping to adopt you. Happy 8th birthday, Laura. Your friend forever, Mary.
James, once more, questions Mary's presence.
Could she really be here? Is this the quiet, beautiful place she was talking about?
Me and Mary talked a lot about Silent Hill. She even showed me all her pictures. She really wanted to come back. That's why I'm here. Maybe you'll get it if you see the other letter. The one, Mary. Huh? I must have dropped it.
Laura!
I gotta find it.
Laura storms out of the room as James yells her name. James then searches the room and reminisces on when Mary used to play the piano. James then finds a fish key. He heads downstairs into the basement and finds some paint thinner in an open elevator. He heads into the cloakroom, uses that fish key on the locked briefcase, and gets the key to room 204. As you can guess, James goes into room 204 and finds the employee elevator key, another locked briefcase, and this. He uses the thinner, which removes the black smudges, revealing the code to the briefcase. In the briefcase, James finds a music box adorned by Cinderella herself. James tucks the box in his coat, searches and finds another box, but he needs one more. He finds a private room, unlocks it, and enters this elevator. James puts all of his weapons into the cabinet, then enters the elevator. James puts all of his ammo/health items into the cabinet, then enters the elevator. James puts everything else except these items into the— Oh my god! James exits the elevator and finds a map specifically for employees. How generous. After a bit of searching, James finds the last music box and the tape, along with the can opener. Wow, James, you can probably find some tasty goods using this can opener. Or not. You know, it's okay. James plops a bulb into this light and exits the bar into this hall, where he locates his belongings, heads to that giant music box, plops the 3 music boxes in their correct sequences, and voila. James uses this key to get to the 3rd floor, where he finally is able to enter room 312.
Are you taping again? Come on. I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James.
If you didn't catch what the VHS was throwing at us, James killed Mary. Laura storms into the room and asks James if he's found Mary.
Did you find Mary? If not, let's get going already, okay?
Laura. Mary's gone. She's dead.
Liar, that's a lie!
No, that's not true.
She died because she was sick?
No, I killed her.
Laura has a reasonable crash out, hitting and yelling at James. Laura asks James why did he do it. He dodges the question and apologizes, telling Laura that the Mary she knows isn't here. Laura exits the room, and Mary begins speaking to James over the radio.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you. Please come to me. Do you hate me? Is that why you won't come? James?
That voice!
Please hurry.
James hurriedly exits the room and is hit with a strange repetitive door until he eventually gets to a new area where he enters an elevator. He heads to the basement and is met with a flooded mess. He sloshes his way to the staircase where he meets Angela.
Mama! Mama, I was looking for you. Now you're the only one left. Maybe then I can rest. Mama, why are you running away? You're not my mama. It's you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Angela, no.
She thanks James for saving her, but states that she wishes he hadn't.
Even Mama said it. I deserved what happened.
No, Angela, that's wrong.
Angela tells James she's not worth the pitying, then follows this up with asking James if he would love her. She then demands James to give her the knife back, in which he tells her no, he won't. She asks if he's saving it for himself. James is baffled by her question, stating he'd never attempt. Angela turns her back to him with no word and begins walking upstairs. James stops her by commenting on the heat coming from the fire.
It's hot as hell in here.
You see it too. For me, it's always like this.
Angela sadly disappears into the fire upstairs. James exits the room and finds himself in another new place, where he eventually finds Maria.
Stop! Leave her alone! Leave us both the hell alone!
I was weak. That's why I needed you. Needed someone to punish me for my sins. But that's all over now. I know the truth. Now it's time to end this.
James runs around, dodging and shooting the two pyramid heads, until they both accept defeat. James takes a rust-colored egg and a scarlet egg from the two. He plops the rust-colored egg into the left door and the scarlet egg into the right. He enters and finds a long, almost endless hallway in which he runs through while remembering past events with Mary. He continues outside, up 7 sets of stairs, and makes it to this place, with cage flooring and...
Mary?
Yeah, look at that. She actually was waiting for him the whole time.
When will you ever stop making that mistake? Mary's dead. You killed her.
Maria? It's you. But I don't need you anymore.
What? You must be joking. But I can be yours. I'll be here for you forever. And I'll never yell at you or make you feel bad. That's what you wanted. I'm different than Mary. How can you throw me away?
I understand now. It's time to end this nightmare.
No, I won't let you. You deserve to die too, James.
That is not Mary. James once again dodges and shoots this evil reincarnation of Maria, acting as Mary, until she's unable to move, still on the floor.
James.
Her defeat puts James into a dreamlike sequence where he's talking to Mary.
Mary?
James.
James asks for forgiveness, but Mary states that she wanted to die. James tells her that's the reason he did it. He couldn't bear watching her suffer, but he instantly denies that.
That's not true. You also said you didn't want to die. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
Mary?
James. Please. Please do something for me.
She hands James another letter, ending this scenario.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you. Waiting for you to come to see me. But you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that. But I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. But I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me, or maybe I just disgust you. I'm sorry about that. When I first learned that I was going to die, I just didn't want to accept it. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most. Especially you, James. That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this, James. I'll always love you. Even though our life together had to end like this, I still wouldn't trade it for the world. We had some wonderful years together. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. That means that as you read this, I'm already dead. I can't tell you to remember me, but I can't bear for you to forget me. These last few years since I became ill, I am so sorry for what I did to you, did to us. You've given me so much, and I haven't been able to return a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you, James. James, you made me happy.
James comes to terms with what he did. He takes Laura and they both leave Silent Hill. For good. As we all know, Silent Hill 2 was fondly praised for its story, and now I know why. James's internal struggle with himself is so amazingly captured in every aspect. Like Pyramid Head, the overweighing guilt James carries with him tortures him every waking second, punishing him for his sins. But through all of the heartache and struggle, James makes it out. He faces the monsters of his past and defeats them. But learning about James as a character, a question arose. Is James a good person? No, he's not. I mean, he killed his wife, but just because you're not good does not mean you're particularly bad. He's flawed, but that's what makes him so compelling. At his core, James Sunderland is a changed person. Yeah, he might have killed his wife, and yeah, she might be in the back of his car, but that's besides the point, okay? James is a changed person. Eddie, on the other hand, I might not like Eddie. Yeah, being made fun of is bad, trust me, I know, but killing a dog? That's too far. I really wanted Eddie to not turn out evil because in moments like this and this, he actually seemed like a cool dude. Laura, she's also a bit rude, but she has a reason to be. As Mary was basically her mother, I'd argue she lost more than James. First their parents, then practically her adoptive mother. She definitely deserved better. Along with Angela. Angela, to me, lost the most. I can't really say what happened to her, but you can most definitely guess. Her story just makes me angry, you know what I mean? And the fact that her mother had the chutzpah to tell her she deserved it is even worse. And then to top it off, Angela walks into the flames. Poor Angela. I enjoyed the boss fight with Abstract Daddy a lot. Maria is a confusing case. Being made by the town itself to tempt James is very interesting. She's very flirtatious with James, as her existence represents that side of Mary in James's mind. To be honest though, to me it feels like James actually cared for her in certain moments, like the hospital for instance, where he tells her to get rest. Then she gets reincarnated, and this is not Maria. I believe this is like another form of her, not the one we just saw, but a more sadistic one in nature. To me, she seems much more manipulative here, and James falls for it. But then she's dead again. Very strange. Then we see her again. Later on, getting stabbed by a spear. I don't know if this is the town just trying to make James give up, so it's forcing him to watch the face of his love get tortured over and over. Then Mary, but kind of Maria, is the final boss, and this time James is the one to put an end to her. It's also skeptical. To me, Maria, from a far view, was made by the town to simply torture James, which is the same case with Pyramid Head.
I was weak. That's why I needed you. Needed someone to punish me for my sins. But that's all over now. I know the truth. Now it's time to end this.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill will always be iconic. The fog world, besides Pyramid Head and the nurses, is most definitely the most recognizable character from this franchise. Yes, I said character. I'd say the town is just as personalized as an actual character, whether it be the way it treats all of its different residents, or its distinct appearance when comparing it to other survival horror locations. And if the fog world doesn't strike your fancy, then maybe the other world will. From a misty, foggy environment comes a blood-red, rusty hell. The other world is just as unique as the fog world. as it will literally change depending on who is viewing it. The individual locations, like Pete's Bolorama or Lakeview Hotel, carry as much character as the town itself. Out of all the places, the hospital stands out the most to me. It's mainly the notes and small details you find throughout. Even the nurses themselves represent this twisted form of an institution. Although, Heaven's Night did catch my eye. It's very strange how Heaven's Night feels the most lived in to me. The neon lighting is definitely the reason for this. Also, in a way, this place looks a bit calming. Silent Hill is a hard place to give a definite explanation as to what it is. Is it supernatural? Or maybe it's just all in James's head.
Don't worry. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think so.
Honestly, I had really low expectations going in, and I was happy I did. Both melee and gunplay are a bit staggering. It's not horrible though, like it definitely could be worse, but it's not amazing. Do not go into this game thinking you're going to get DMC combat, because you're not. You're going to get palatable, decently served combat. When it comes to bosses, none were excruciatingly numbing and none were overly simplistic, excluding this one with Pyramid Head. My favorite boss fight is tied with the two last ones. The Pyramid Heads require quick thinking and fast reflexes, while Mary takes patience and opportunity. Actually, looking back at it, I'll have to say Pyramid Heads were my favorite. Who doesn't like the idea of taking on two Pyramid Heads at once? Who wrote this? The puzzles were, to put it simply, humbling. I'm going to be truthful here and admit I had to use guides on a few, okay? But I did try my best to avoid doing so. The easiest one for me was the Box of Faces puzzle. I really didn't see a pattern and got lucky with it. There weren't any that were excruciatingly hard, honestly. Anyways, yeah, the gameplay is fine. It's nothing to gloat over. Silent Hill 2 is, without a doubt, surreal. In every aspect of this game, it is filled to the brim with small, extra details that you'd only find in current games. Overall, Silent Hill 2 met and exceeded my expectations. If you enjoy a deep, rich story with many endings, intricate puzzles, melancholic music, and settings with a light dab of humor, then Silent Hill 2 is the perfect pizza.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
Born from a Wish is a small DLC dedicated to Maria. I'd say it takes place during the beginning of the game, when James is entering the town. It's hard to say what the intention of the scenario is. Is it to show how Maria has her own internal struggles, exceeding her purpose of being just a subconscious manifestation of Mary? Or is it here to simply just show where and when Mary was sprouted by the town, to eventually serve her purpose to punish James? I would say it's a bit of both.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Everyone's gone. Is it because of those monsters? What do I do now? Do I fight and live? Or do those monsters get me? I don't have any reason to go on living. But I'm scared to die. I'm so afraid of pain. Should I run away? I want to find somebody. I don't like being alone. But is there anyone left alive?
After her pondering, she heads out and into the main area of Heaven's Night. I still think this place is very calming. Anyways, she makes it outside, wanders around, and makes it to this giant's house. Inside, she finds a man. He tells her to leave him be, but Maria's just happy to have found another human. Maria asks him to open up. He says no, and she asks why. Then the man asks her if it's really necessary of him to answer all of her tedious questions. Maria simply responds with yes. She then asks him if he knows what's up with the town, the whole monster stick. He tells her he does, but the man asks why does it matter? As to him, it means there's no one to disturb him.
You want to be alone in this insane asylum?
Yes, exactly.
He then asks her how she can say the town is insane, when it might be them that are insane.
Both of us. Hopelessly insane. Are you satisfied? Would you leave me alone?
Maria then finds a white tablet not far from the door, and eventually climbs down this chimney and into this area, where she finds 2 more tablets and this tombstone, which just so happens to have square indentations. Maria fixates the 3 tablets until an acacia key is released. She heads up, past some matches in a kid's room, and into the attic where a family can be heard, reacting to someone falling out of a window.
Oh no, she fell out the window! Don't move her.
Maria lights the room and finds a birthday card and present from someone named Amy Baldwin. Maria heads down but is stopped by a voice.
Give it to my daddy.
I'm guessing that was Amy. Maria listens to the voice and makes it to Ernest. She brings up the letter and he tells her that Amy is his daughter. She tells him where she found it and he tells her that just now he realizes why she was holding an empty envelope when she fell. Maria tells him she's sorry.
I'm sorry I reminded you.
No need to apologize. You didn't remind me. I've never forgotten. Maria, some things we forget, and some things we can never forget. It's funny. I'm not sure which one is sadder. It's been 10 years, but I still... Maria, that letter.
She slips the letter to him and he comes to the realization that Maria is something he doesn't reveal.
So perhaps that means that I can hope for a miracle as well.
What do you mean?
He dodges Maria's question and tells her to get him a bottle containing white liquid in the Blue Creek apartment building. Maria says she'll do it and he thanks her. She runs over to the building, finds the bottle atop of familiar furniture, and heads back to Ernest.
Thank you, Maria. That's the only item I couldn't get myself. By the time I found out about it, I could no longer leave this house. So long.
Yes, but will...
Maria, the gods are here. You know it too. You were born in this town.
I'm not sure God is the right word.
I'll have to agree with Maria on that one.
Do you believe in fate?
Not really.
That's fine then.
She asks if she can open the door, in which he tells her it's a dead end. She says she knows and asks him what would it mean if she had said she believed in fate.
That James. He's a bad man.
James.
Maria says she knows. Ernest tells her that James is looking for the Maria that isn't Maria. She asks him is it because he's kind, then follows this up asking Ernest if he knows something.
Yes. Maria, you're...
Anyway, that's just what you think. You don't really know anything.
Maria opens the door and... After her discovery, she leaves the house. She peers out her handgun, puts it up to her head, but doesn't fall through, and tosses the gun away.
James.
Mary?
That's Born from a Wish. Maria, for a minute there, seemed to be a completely different person than the Maria we saw in the main story. She seemed more thoughtful, but after finding out that Ernest was simply just a spirit, she seeks out James to fulfill her reason for existing, to remind him. To remind James. Once again, the story here is just superb. Finding out Ernest wasn't real was very shocking. I loved playing this after the main story. Seeing Blue Creek again was very odd. Oh, thank you for watching, or just clicking on my video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and if you disliked, please comment and tell me why. Yeah, so now I know why this game is considered a classic. From the beginning to the end, Silent Hill 2 is surreal in every way. The story, setting, and gameplay all come together so nicely to form a wonderful dish. Makes me excited to play the remake. Once again, my name's Eli, and until next time. Okay. Wait, don't click off the video. I see you clicking on the video. I just woke up, looked at my phone, and somebody had joined my Patreon. And not even the cheap one. Thank you to Scapes XD for being a bit more generous over on Patreon. Just thank you. $10 is not a small amount of money, especially every month. That's crazy. I feel like I need to say more, because $10 is a lot. Don't you agree? Thank you, Scapes XD. It means a lot, like a lot. You don't know how much $10 can go. It does. It builds up. Just thank you. Patreon link in the bio. If you want to join James, remember, you don't have to be a bit more generous. You can just be generous. You know, give me that $1 and it goes a long way. It truly does, especially every month it will build up. Once again, Scapes XD, thank you. Make sure to show your love to him down in the comments if he's in the comments. Thank you, Scapes, a lot. I can't talk. Thank you. Hey, you saw that video that you were just watching while I was talking about my first Patreon member? Well, that's the video right there. It's about me talking about the future of the channel. Please tune in and give me some feedback. That's really about it. That's all I gotta say. Bye, guys. Bye. Hope you have a good day/night. Bye. See you guys.